Welcome to another installment of Incoming Parent Perspective. This is a video series designed to assist and educate those who have loved ones who will be joining us next year here at Arkansas Tech University. Throughout this process, we know that you play a major role in the success of your student, and we want to keep you informed and educated so that you are able to help them through this process from starting as a freshman all the way up through until graduation. We hope that these video series can provide you some insight into campus policies and procedures and the academic and social life of your student so you're better educated to assist and help them through this process. Today our focus is on the housing application process for those students who will be joining us in fall 2020. To help us through this process and talk us through this, we have Ms. Laura Palmer, the Coordinator of Marketing Assignments in the Department of Residence Life. Thank you for being here, Laura.
You're welcome.
Once again, we're looking forward to another large freshman class joining us here at Arkansas Tech in fall 2020. Now that these students have been accepted into the university and are committed and 100% coming to Arkansas Tech, they need to start the housing application process. That is a very important step that they need to complete. Can you provide us an overview of the steps needed for a newly admitted student to Arkansas Tech University to secure housing for next year?
So the housing application has 4 major steps. The first one is completing the initial application and paying the $25 application fee and applying for a living learning community if students desire. The second step is signing the contract and making the $100 room prepayment. The third step is room selection, and the final step is selecting a meal plan.
Okay. Now, this is all done through the housing portal,
Yes,
correct?
That's correct.
Okay, talk to us a little bit about, give us an overview of what the housing portal is and how do students find it and how do they get into it?
The student portal can be accessed through students' OneTech account. If they go to Student Life and then housing on the top right side, there is a link to the housing portal. They will need to log in with their OneTech credentials, so their Arkansas Tech username and their password.
Okay, so those are 2 things they need to have, and they've got that from the admissions office when
That's
they got
correct.
accepted. So they get into the OneTech account and then go to Student Life and click on the housing portal. And they use that from now until when they graduate, because
That's
they'll be in the
correct.
housing portal. It's the same keys and credentials to get in there too. You mentioned the $100 prepayment cost. Talk to me a little bit about that and when and why is that applied?
Yeah, this is a prepayment,
Okay.
and it's used to hold the students' space on campus for fall and spring. Typically, this is applied to students' accounts by February, so they will get this amount back.
Okay.
The following semester.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if they pay it in January, February, whatever, they pay that to move through the application process, that money is going to be credited back to their account in the
Yes.
fall semester at some point.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so true prepayment. Where can our incoming freshmen live? What are the housing options do they have for residing on campus next fall?
They will be able to live mostly on any hall except for the apartments. The apartments have a 30-hour minimum requirement, so preference is given to students with that amount of hours. But we have M Street, which is an exclusively freshman hall. Students who apply and are accepted into a living learning community will be able to live in that hall is freshmen only. After that, any of our other halls. If students are interested in spending winter break on campus and not paying any extra for those spaces, they can request to live in Wilson, providing there are spaces available at the time room selection opens for them. And perhaps Jones is typically an upperclassman only hall, but once we fill Jones with upperclassmen, there is always a possibility spaces will open for students who might need it.
So on your website now, incoming students can go there and look and see the housing options. There's tours there. There's a 360 video tours. You can see the rooms and see the options when they come in there and see everything. But University Commons is on the table for an incoming freshman.
That's correct.
And then the students have options to live with 1 roommate, 2 roommate, or 3 roommates. Correct? Some of the halls are 2 people per room. Some of them are 3. Some of them are 4. Is that still correct?
That is still correct. Yes, Nat Hall particularly has quads, which is 4 people in 1 bedroom.
Okay, great. So if a student already knows, some of our students come in where they already identified somebody they want to live with from their high school or maybe from another high school, but they're lifelong friends and they want to live together. How can they assure that that happens? What do they do to make sure that they're signing up and completing the process and they both have the best chance to be able to live together?
Yeah. So the first step of the application includes forming roommate groups. And there is a page in the application called Roommate Groups, and they can go there, and I would recommend having the email address of the people they want to be roommates with. Okay. Their OneTech address, and they can put the address in one of the fields and it will find that person. That person has to have been admitted to the university and started an application in order to be found. So they can form a roommate group, add this person to the roommate group. Then when room selection opens, the first person who has access to select the room will be able to add the entire group into that space. Pull that other person into that space.
So if you want to assure that you get the person that you want to live with, you've already made the determination, you both need to have completed the application process by February 1st or as soon as possible.
As soon as possible. As soon as they are admitted, they can go into the housing portal and complete their application.
If somebody has not done those steps, they're not going to be seen in the housing portal,
correct.
and the chances of you being able to live together become slimmer and slimmer the longer they wait to get in.
That's correct. So we would recommend first reading each page on the housing portal completely. There is a section that will ask whether you want to be found by other people when making a roommate search. So if you want to be found, you got to make sure you have checked that box. Yeah.
Okay, good. Now, on the flip side of that, if somebody doesn't have any pre-planned roommates, they're coming to tech and they want to meet new people, they want to live with somebody different, they just they have no preferences. What steps do they need to take? Is just completing the application process, or is there?
Yeah, they can just go and complete the application process. They don't have to select or form a roommate group, but if they wanted to see what their possibilities are, the roommate group page has a feature called Suggest Roommates, and when they click there, the system will generate a list of people that might be a good match. Okay. And so what the system does, it looks at their preferences or their habits, because there will be a profile the students have to fill in the first step of the application, where they are asked, well, what are your cleanliness habits, your study habits? And so based on those features, the system will suggest matches, and you will see, it will give you a percentage on a 70% match with different people. So then you can look at that person's profile to find out more about them, and you can make an invitation. Hey, would you like to be roommates? And the person has the option to accept or decline.
Sure. Okay, great. Now, coming to campus to actually tour and see our residence halls, what options do we have for those students who will be joining us next fall? What are the options for them to actually tour rooms in residence halls?
Yeah, we have showrooms in Baswell, Payne, Turner, and Wilson. And we are, right now, we're offering tours at 11:30 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. Throughout, until the end of the semester. And then throughout the summer as well. People can go to our website. We now have a tour sign-up request form up there, so they can sign up, they can select a date and which halls they would like to tour, and one of our housing ambassadors will review that and get in touch with them to make sure we have them down and they're still coming and we are ready to receive them. They can also simply call to the office and tell us they would like a tour.
Sure.
Or they can just come up and we will make arrangements for them to tour our dorms.
Now, we need to be clear for our folks that have loved ones coming in the fall. They don't always get to tour their actual room or the room they want. We have a lot of students on campus, a lot of summer camps and different things happening. But if they'll let you know what buildings are able to tour and you'll be able to see a room. Now, most buildings, the rooms are matches throughout the building. They look very similar and have same size windows and same beds and different stuff like that. So they'll be able to see in a building, in a room, maybe not that specific room. So that's just one thing to note. Of course, the next step is getting assigned and all this stuff, and then what I start to see from those who have loved ones coming in is questions about the cost and the room rates and the meal plan rates, what are they? Because what's posted now is what the current costs are. When will those costs for the fall 2020, spring 21 academic calendar year, when will those costs be posted?
They are typically posted midsummer, at the end of May, beginning of June, and we post them on our website, and we send emails to students letting them know the new amounts are up. Typically, we have the current rates as a frame of reference for them. We expect costs to go up around 10%, 10 to 30%. But we had a big change this year where we tried to make our newest halls more affordable to students. And so I think there will not be a big increase, but just watch out for those amounts coming soon throughout the summer. Mm-hmm.
Well, this is a huge deal. This is big. They've got accepted to college here at Arkansas Tech, and now they're planning that next step, and the commitment's becoming real. Like, they're going to be here. So taking the steps and the proper steps to get your room for the fall knocks one thing off the list of importance, the one less thing to worry about. So we want to make sure that our incoming students and those who have loved ones coming, they understand the process and they are clear on the steps that need to be taken. So because of that, how can somebody reach out to if they have questions or concerns or just need some clarification? Whom do they need to talk to, or how best is it for them to get that question resolved?
Yeah, they can send us an email at housing@atu.edu, or just give us a phone call at 479-968-0376, and any of our housing ambassadors would be happy to answer any questions they may have.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us today, Laura, and thank you for providing us this overview. And we look forward to another large freshman class coming in next fall, and those majority of those living on campus. So if you have questions, please reach out to the housing office, and we look forward to seeing your loved one here next fall. So thank you for visiting with us today. We'll see you next episode.